Surely it's not a YouTube thing. Here we go. That's looking a bit more promising. Far out. So there we go. We're here, people. We're here. Okay. looks like the auto start button isn't the way to do this.
Right.
Right.
Don't trust technology.
Don't trust technology. Yes. So yeah, just to answer your question, Joe, were there any technical difficulties? Yes, there were. But sorry to keep you waiting, everyone. Let's get on with it. Where's the face palm?
We definitely need some sort of animation of oopsies. Go oopsie.
Totally. Oopsie. Sorry. Very sorry to our audience. Darrell had another harebrained scheme of let's try and do this live again using some new equipment, and we tested most of the process. Oops.
It's actually a good example of what in tech you should not do, which is you take a system, you have different steps. You have 10 steps, let's call it, and then you test 7. And then you say, yes, we did it. It's tested. It's going to work.
Yeah.
Don't do that, people. Test all 10.
Yeah, that's right. Well, look, welcome to the 365 Message Center show live, finally, again. Part of the motivation for this is I had started a new job at the beginning of the year, and then it went daylight savings, and it's the usual 2 hours out. So it would have been a 5 o'clock start for me. And we thought we'd try doing some pre-recorded, pre-post stuff. But here we are trying to do it live and changing up the scenes.
Wonderful.
Anyway, yes. Well, Daniel, shall we get into it?
Darrell, I don't think they came for our technical difficulties. I think they came for our insights into the messages that were released this past week. So let's get to it.
Okay, because we are running late.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's go with this scene here so we can check out the message. Content from camera now launched in Teams. We can talk about how confusing that is. It is a message. MC286780. This is our headline for today. And yes, confusing title because what is it? What is this camera? Where is it in Teams? But let me tell you, it's actually something that we saw a while back when there was this demonstrated person who was a ghost in front of a whiteboard. They're writing away and you could see through them, and then this magical ink appeared. If we just have a quick look down here, you will see some of that going on. There we go. Someone's hand is ghostly appearing. And that was something that was only available in Teams meeting rooms. You had to have the special device. It had to have a dedicated camera that was pointing at the board, and you just couldn't do this from your desktop. And I was thinking, come on, man. If this is a feature that's within Teams and we can at least remove our background, surely you can build it into Teams Desktop, for example. Well, here it is, Daniel. And it actually lines up with a story that I had around having to sit in remote meetings, and sometimes people would grab a pen, try to draw on a board, but they'd turn the laptop around and point at it as if, we were going to have the same experience. Had you ever experienced that before?
Yeah, but it's been a few years ago where, you're in a meeting, and it was actually a Skype meeting. So that tells you something. It was, and you're trying to work on the whiteboard, and you turn your laptop around and you show the people, see, this is what we're talking about. And, it's just really, they're writing in light green and something, and you really can't see what's going on. It really isn't a great experience to do it that way. So I'm really excited about this one. I will say it is something that I experienced at Ignite, and I'm trying to remember the year. It's been a few years where they were demonstrating this on the floor, the expo hall, where you could get in and you could write and they'd take your picture and do all this cool stuff. But it hasn't, it wasn't there available to us. But now coming to everyone, being able to just have a camera, that you've added to your device and point to the content and get going. It's pretty slick.
So Andy's question there, is it launched yet? No, not yet, as a few have answered in the chat. It's definitely coming soon. A little bit more about the two modes. So you have your whiteboard mode, and I'll be ready to demonstrate that once it's ready in public preview. And you have a document mode where, you can have your overhead document cameras that you can present and it captures it. So the goal here with it is that it takes a picture of, or a video stream of a board. Let's go down and have a look at this demo. You turn on the content camera, you can size it up. It adjusts the angle of the board like the office lens camera, and then it'll high contrast the ink so that as you're writing, when you move your hand away, it'll remain there. And then your transparent hand, you can see through and see what was there on the board beforehand. So that's the board, and then you can do similar sort of thing with documents overhead.
Yep, and it gives you that kind of contrast. Like we had been talking about this before. With Office Lens, you could take a picture of a whiteboard, and it gives you that contrast where it doesn't. It's not exactly the way it looks on the board, but it actually allows you to read it really well. That's what this does, is it gives you the ability to read that content really well, which is what's important. It's important to be able to actually see what's being written on the board. So just last point to make before I talk about arrival dates. This is one of the key things they wanted to make available for hybrid work and for equalizing that experience for remote people. So I know firsthand what that's like, but just think about anyone being able to be in a meeting room with a whiteboard. They can turn their webcam and they can turn this mode on. It will always help to have better lighting. And it's probably still going to be dependent on the quality of your web camera in your laptop, but generally it's going to get the point across. If I can just show you a couple of different pens here, I would choose this pen, right, over this tiny little one here to probably write your story. The other thing that I've noticed with this kind of technology is you got to make sure your whiteboard's clean too, because when this technology looks at your whiteboard, it's going to look at any kind of thing that's not white and not consistent. So what I've seen is people have stickers and stuff they've put on there and they've peeled them off and it leaves that residue. Well, when you take that picture or you use this technology, it's probably going to highlight some of that. So just have your whiteboard clean. Definitely. When is this coming down?
Late September. So that's nowish, as we like to say on the show, beginning then and complete by early October. It doesn't break it out into public preview and waves and stuff. It's going to be for everyone to look for it as a feature when you go to share something, and it'll be down there as a content camera. All right. Well, Daniel, tell us about the next one.
Image Utility Edit Control, MC286779. So you have images in OneDrive for Business, and you want to make edits. Well, congratulations, you're going to be able to do that. This is rolling out late September, so nowish, and expected to have the rollout completed by late October. So it's going to give a month here to roll it out. But when you have images in OneDrive for Business and you want to be able to crop them, you're going to be able to do that now, right in the browser. Fantastic, right? And it's going to be free-form crop, meaning you get to select what you're cropping or having those fixed ratios. Maybe you have a image that you want to, showcase somehow, and you want it to be on a different aspect ratio. You're going to be able to do that. It's also going to be able to let you do image adjustments. Now, we don't have specifics on the different types of adjustments that you're going to be able to make, but think about, hue, think about contrast, saturation, those kind of changes. And you're going to be able to make those changes on those files as well. And remember versioning. So not only we're going to be able to capitalize on doing these things, but you're going to be able to capitalize on versions. in OneDrive as well. Now, this is only going to be for JPEG, and for now, they're working on PNG. So it is not, some robust, I'm going to upload all of my different types of documents, my vector, my .ai files, and I'm going to be doing all this wonderful stuff to it. This is just JPEG right now. But I think for those instances where you just want to make some quick edits to those images, you're going to be able to do that. Darrell, do you like this?
Yeah, I do. And I didn't look at it, the additional information earlier, but I mean, it's actually quite close to, we've seen this recently with the Surface Duo 2 launch. There's that same kind of style of tools and aspect ratios and making a few minor edits. But, that's not bad. Generally, we try and get people to change image size and quality and tweaks before you upload it. But
So here's a great use case is camera backup. So if you are using your phone for taking pictures at work and you could turn on that OneDrive camera backup to OneDrive for Business, have them there, and then go back and edit them later. So doing the flipping, you've taken pictures before in portrait and you meant to do it in landscape and vice versa. All of those things you're going to be able to do. So I think it's nice, quick edits. It's not a Photoshop or anything like that, but I don't think it needs to be. That's not what the point of this. So,
yep.
Next up is a fantastic update that has always bugged me since the launch of the software. Darrell, please tell us.
How appropriate. We had problems launching and restarting and stuff. I actually panicked because I thought, oh no, have I just used the event up? Okay, so let me clarify this. The message: restarting a Teams live event. This is MC 286781. If you've done a live event before in Microsoft Teams, or even Yammer or Stream, it's generally you've used this, or you set up the event, and if you use it, that's it, done. Link over. And if you want people to join the live event and you've got to fix things up, you've got to create a whole new link. That's kind of what I was feeling this morning as we're trying to go live. I was like, oh no, have we used our YouTube link up? Anyway, so that's been the case up until now. You can't restart the event, but this is the capability that you will be able to restart the live event. If you had some problem with the connection, if you had, for some reason, some production workflow issues and you clicked the button early, like this morning, then you will have, it's almost like I planned this, Daniel, just to help us illustrate the point.
No, so I think, Darrell, what really happens a lot with these live events is you get multiple people who have controls and they push the wrong button and they stop things and you're like, wait, what did I just do?
Yep.
And so, get past the, if you accidentally do stuff yourself, but what if you have multiple producers that are causing issues?
Yeah. So there is a slight catch with this, though. It will allow you to restart the event if you're a producer. But when you do restart the event, you have to get people to rejoin the meeting. You'll lose your recording, you'll lose your transcript and your captions data, as the message says there. So it's at least allowing you to present the content and not have people sitting there in the room going, okay, now what? And you're panicking, trying to find a way to get this message across. Here's the new link, everyone. Instead, it's, okay, here's the event, but we won't be able to use the recording or anything else that goes along with it. So bit of a pity there. Maybe they'll improve that, but at least you'll have something to reshow. No action required. And this feature, for those of you who are running live events out of Microsoft Teams, you'll be able to start seeing this now-ish and complete early October-ish. Daniel, let's hear a bit about, what?
One thing I want to say is in the chat, Jamie is mentioning there, no more button of doom, which is the end, but I would say it's no more button of doom. However, just as Darrell pointed out, there is issues here. If you end it, then everyone's got to rejoin and you lose the recording and all that you just did. So while this, there's not that, button where you go end it and you go, oh no, that's not what I meant to do. So anyway,
But button of difficulties.
Right.
Button of event limiting moves, like career limiting
Okay.
moves.
All right, Darrell. Here we
Yeah,
go.
yeah, yeah.
Next message. SPO, which there's so many things that are interesting about this message. This is the first one. SPO, View in File Explorer, available in Microsoft Edge, MC286342. Now, SPO stands for SharePoint Online. So why they didn't just say that, I don't know. So that one is interesting. So the next interesting thing is the first sentence is saying, don't use this functionality. So we recommend using OneDrive Sync app with your files rather than using View in File Explorer. However, we're giving you this functionality. So this is for modern SharePoint libraries, starting with Microsoft Edge version 93. You're going to be able to have a button that says View in File Explorer. This is going back to the same functionality that we've had in Internet Explorer for a while. And because IE 11 support is dead in Office 365, it was done away with in August, then they're bringing this functionality. So this is going to be starting to roll out early October and will be finished for targeted release, and will be rolling out for standard early November and completed by the end of November. So everyone should have this within the next couple months or so. Now, they're highlighting and stressing, please don't use this. We don't want you to use this. You should use the OneDrive sync client to sync those files, and there's several reasons there. OneDrive, for instance, it doesn't have to actually sync all the files. It could just be pointers. But when you do the files, the View in File Explorer, you are syncing content that you may not even need. But again, they don't want you using it. But here it is. I think there's a lot of people that have a need for this, or at least their business processes have a need for this, and so they are putting it in there. But don't use it. It's going to be there, people. But don't click the button, people. Don't click it.
Don't click it. Look, there's a comment there from Heidi. She's a little confused about this one. I think it's because, well, I mean, I was too. Like, first of all, it's using a technology I haven't used for years, IE 11. I really had to cast my mind back and go, hey, Daniel, what was this about again? And because he's got a better memory than me, and I'm old, he refreshed me that it was an ActiveX control. Wow. And yeah, I know. Look, this is a compliment, sir.
Oh, yeah. Is it?
Yeah, it is. But maybe Heidi and I are in the same category that we can't remember this stuff. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, anyway, it's been around forever. And I know organizations have been using this functionality forever, but you shouldn't use it. However, we're letting you know that's going to be there. But you shouldn't do it. Darrell.
Yes.
Let's move on to Yammer.
Yammer and quick mentions. So these ones are quick, bit more rapid moving, less chatter, right? Whatever. Anyway, wow. Yammer Topic APIs changes with Viva Topics. This is MC286339. I got to say, when I saw some changes to Yammer a number of months back, where they split out the topics versus hashtags that you can put within messages, I kind of saw this coming. We knew like that topics was on its way, Viva Topics, and this is the completion of that alignment, so that when you add a topic to Yammer, and a topic is something that you go to the bottom of the Yammer message and you're adding a topic, this is as opposed to a hashtag in the message. Hashtag in the message is still there. It can be used to jump to things, but it's not going to group messages together of the same topic. Then it's actually connected to Viva Topics now. So as we have conversations about things, they're going to be consumed and presented on some of those topic pages as conversations about this content or about that topic. So it's expected to roll out January 2022 and completed late January 2022. What else can I say about it? To adopt Viva Topics.
Nothing, because it's supposed to be quick.
Yeah. Yeah, true. It's a quick mention. Sorry. Moving
I felt
on.
like you were fussing at me before. Like, come on, Daniel, it needs to be quick. And now you're...
Yep.
Send feedback on image tags, MC286337. This whole send feedback thing has been around for a while within the products. So allowing your users to send feedback directly to Microsoft about products. That feedback link is there. In fact, you'll see a feedback link there, and even in the screenshot, or even on the screen that Darrell is showing here, there's a help and support little link down there in the green, and being able to do stuff, connect and give feedback to Microsoft. So what this is about is Microsoft is going to Microsoft gives tags for images when you automatically upload them, right? Saying a boy wearing a shirt in front of the sun. I don't know, different types of tags. But your users are going to be able to give feedback to Microsoft saying, oh, that tag's bad, or that tag is wrong, so that they can improve their AI. Well, here's the deal. They will also be able to include the image when they send the feedback, which is very helpful to Microsoft, because if you say the tag is wrong, okay, great, but I need to know what the image is to even know that the tag is wrong. Because if you don't send the image, then there's no way they can get in. They don't have permission to do that. They can't get to the image without you sending it. However, if you think about it, images within your environment, you may not want them to be shared with Microsoft. I'm not discouraging you from doing that, from allowing that. I'm just saying that it's possible that you may not want that to happen. And if so, then you need to go into the controls and turn that off so that users cannot share feedback. This is rolling out early October and expected to be completed by mid-October. So you have just a few days to think about how you want to do this and how you want to handle this. Now, feedback is, like I said, across Microsoft 365, across all of those apps. And so you're going to have to think about, how do we want this to work? So just make sure that you definitely look into that before they roll this out.
Mm-hmm. A bit about Safari.
Yes, Safari, one-to-one calling in Safari, MC286561. This is rolling out to those on Mac, and this is why we wanted to mention this, late September, so nowish, and completed by early October. Being able to do one-on-one calls in Safari, which is amazing, right? People have been waiting for that, I'm sure. So that is coming and will be available to you. See, very quick mention, right?
Very quick mention, very short message. Do I like the change? Let's just say, yeah, we do. And is it okay to submit any feedback? Okay, it's just thank you. Cool. We do actually have a callback this week. Mm-hmm. I've said it before. We've said it before, that sometimes it's hard for us to cast our mind back and go, what have we talked about again? And, I know, we could go back and watch some videos of what we've talked about. Or like what actually has landed. And there's been a lot of stuff that's been pushed out month by month. I think that's part of the challenge. But you've seen and heard from the show today, a lot of it's arriving nowish. So this is something that has arrived-ish. It is here-ish, right now-ish. Insights into Microsoft 365 became Microsoft Viva. And so it meant that we got some of those additional things that were announced for Viva Insights. Yeah, let's actually, it's starting to roll out now, and that's starting in September and completed in November. Let's take a look at what this looks like. Let's open that up. Okay. Daniel, it does look familiar, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah. Yep. So we have insights for starters. It is still the was it My Analytics Insights logo that's there? I don't know if they're going to change that, but definitely this is Viva Insights is set at the top there. We've got look, there was a couple of messages here about checking in with people that I work with and that I've connected with. We've got some of my demo users that I should send praise to. We've also got the headspace area, so we won't necessarily play through the video, but this opens up in a modal window and we can listen to that mindfulness exercise. You've got the other tabs like stay connected, so setting up one-on-one time with people that you have been connecting with or some of your direct reports. And then you can use this area here for setting up some focus time. So it is, yeah. Oh, how about that? I didn't realize that the headspace thing changed occasionally. I thought it was just that's your headspace thing for today.
No, it definitely changes to meet your needs so you can get out of your head. Speaking of doing cool things, make sure that you follow us on LinkedIn. We want to do some cool stuff in LinkedIn. So make sure you follow us on LinkedIn. You can find us at 365 MCS. We're just a couple away from being able to release some awesomeness in that venue. So if just a few of you go over there and follow that page, we will be able to do cool
when you
stuff.
say a few people, I took a look at the follower limit. Can we have like a few plus 50?
Okay, cool.
Well, we need 150, but that's all right.
Okay, gotcha. So everybody go on over there, do the whole liking and following our page on LinkedIn, 365MC. And of course, you can engage with us on all the socials at 365MCS. You can go over to Twitter. You can do Facebook. You can do Insta. We're there. We're there for you. We want to engage with you. Come on over.
Definitely. So look, thanks everyone for hanging in there and being part of the show. We have figured out how it works now. Yes, we're back in all our raw and figuring it out as we go attitude. But follow us in all the various different places, and we'll see you next time. Funny thing, Daniel, I haven't set up an outro for this, so I'm just going to play the intro again.
Okay.
All right. We'll see you again, people. Bye for now.